Trigger Spoons, Trigger Spoon Magnums, Trigger Spoon Pros, Trigger Spoon Juniors, Speed Spoons, Speed Spoon Pros. Looking for spoons for your trout fishing adventure? Think FHS Spoons. You can check them out at fishhuntshoot.com. Fishing rods.
It was Larry that ended up breaking Brian's landing net with this big bad brown trout. Wait for it. What you're about to see doesn't happen every day. Watch closely and you'll see the big trout go airborne.
Oh, keep reeling. Just keep reeling. That's a big fish. Don't touch the drag ring. That's a big fish. He jumped.
Yeah, I saw it.
It's a swivel. Yeah, nice fish.
Ease him up, ease him up.
All right, yeah. Oh, he fell out of the net. He fell through the net.
Let's have a look at that in slow motion. Wow, can you believe that? With the clouds spitting rain, Anthony hooked the final fish of the day on a threaded Gulp minnow. With the quality brown trout we'd seen, we figured Anthony was hooked up with a brown too, but you just never know.
Yep, there he is.
See a little flash. Take another brown.
Looks like it.
No.
Is that a catfish?
Catfish.
You got a catfish.
Go. We were just talking about that.
Huh. That's a new one.
Little sucker can pull.
Yeah. There you go. Gulp catches everything.
That ain't a bullhead.
It's a catfish. Full size.
I don't want to grab the thing. You grab it. Here. There you go. You got spines on them.
Good looking fish. Howdy anglers, Cal Kellogg here. I mentioned Gulp minnows in a video this week, and that usually generates a bunch of questions because guys that haven't fished them a lot, they really don't understand how to rig them and how to troll them. And I got some questions, from that video I posted this week. So I thought I'd do a review on how to use Gulp minnows. Now there's other content here on the channel you can find about Gulp minnows, but rather than looking through that, I thought I'd just post up a new fresh video. So let's take a look at a Gulp minnow. Here's how they look in their natural habitat in the package. See there, they come from Berkeley. They are made out of soybeans, so they're very environmentally friendly. You can see a little bit of juice in that bag. That's the secret behind Gulp. The Gulp scent, all freshwater Gulp baits, no matter the shape, they all smell the same. And the same is true for the saltwater Gulp, whether the little bait looks like a shrimp or a minnow or whatever. The scent is always the same. Whatever that scent is on Gulp, it is highly effective at triggering strikes, whether you're in freshwater or saltwater. They are just money baits. They're expensive. They're kind of a pain to use because if you don't keep the package sealed, they will all dry up and shrivel up and you'll ruin all your baits. You can kind of regenerate them in water, but once they dry up, they're never the same again. So keep the bag sealed. So let's take a close-up look at one of these guys. Here's a 4-inch Gulp minnow. And I use these in the 4-inch size, the 3-inch size, and the 2-inch size. So kind of match the size of the minnow to the size of the forage the fish are feeding on, or what you think the fish are feeding on, and you're well on the path to success. Now, a lot of guys will put one of these on a hook, pull it through the water, and they have very little action. They get discouraged. They have no confidence. They troll it for 2 minutes. They pull it off. They say, I wasted my $7 on that bag of Gulp. I'm never fishing it again. Well, you got to get past that because these baits, they don't have a lot of action. They don't have a curly tail or whatever, but at the end of the day, the fish love them. Kings will hit them, bass will hit them, trout love them. Here's how I rig them. I basically rig them 2 different ways. One, I'll just take a straight shanked, ring-eyed, like a light black bass finesse hook, just a straight shank J hook. I'll take that hook, I'll put it up next to the minnow there. I'll kind of figure out where that's going to pop out. I'll take the minnow, I'll go in through his head like this. I'll just go straight down through the body. I'll just start kind of threading him around the hook like that. Just force him on there. Keep him as straight as possible. Pop that hook point out, not through the side like I just did. I had a fly buzzing my mouth. But let's pop it out through the back. Shove that hook in there just like that. Troll that at 1 mile an hour. It's not going to have much action. It is a fish killer. I rarely team them with blades or flashers. I like to troll them slow. I like to troll them naked, and they have produced some very nice fish for me. I didn't come up with this rigging style. This is Brian Ricucci up at Lake Elmanor. Elmanor is notoriously tough. When the going gets tough, Brian breaks out the 3-inch Gulp and he trolls them just like that. Rarely does he use a blade. He just slow trolls them. Totally a finesse presentation, and he gets them. The other way I like to rig them is as a substitute for rolled bait. And the way, that's not a good sound. We're in the midst of a bunch of fires. It is smoky and I'm hearing sirens. But anyway, onward. Actually, I'm gonna stop for a second and we'll resume after that siren goes by. Well, he's further away, but I can still hear him. But let's get back to the Gulp minnows. So, as I said, I like to use these as a substitute for rolling bait. If I don't want to carry, you know, frozen shad or frozen anchovies with me in the boat, or maybe I'm at a lake that doesn't allow me to use natural bait like that, well, I can use Gulp minnows as a substitute and very effectively roll them for fish like Mackinaw, kings, basically open water predators that are looking to jump, you know, all over a minnow that is showing signs of distress. So to get that rolling action, I like to rig them on a slow death hook, just like that one there. The hook doesn't have to be red. I have these in red and bronze. I just grabbed a red one. The rigging, very much the same as with the straight shank hook. And again, I'm not going to run this with dodgers or flashers or anything like that. I'm just going to run the minnow naked. I'm just going to insert that hook in the minnow's nose. I'm just going to bring that all the way down, 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 down. And I'm going to ultimately pop it out of the bait's back, just like that. And I'm going to work it down onto the hook, just like that. And as you can see, that hook is kind of protruding from the side back of that bait. And if you look at it from this angle here, I'll kind of hold it up there, you can see that little cup, that little bend in the bait. Now, when you put this in the water, you can tweak it a little bit to get the roll you want. You can achieve a very tight roll, you can achieve a wider roll, and you can also kind of dial it in for speed. Best all-around speed, 1 to probably 1.5. This is a slow, stealthy presentation, and kings will hit this very much the same way as they hit natural bait. You'll see your rod in the downrigger, you'll see them hit it, pow, and they'll come back, they'll hit it again, bang, and they'll typically stay with that rolling Gulp minnow until they get it deep enough in their mouth that they pick up that hook and they're hooked. So that's the two ways I run Gulp. You can team them with dodgers. I typically don't. It's a stealth presentation for me. It's something I use when I want to imitate a bait fish. Either run them on a straight shank hook with very little action, or I run them on a slow death hook, which is going to give me that nice consistent roll. I hope that helped you guys out there that have been struggling with how to use Gulp effectively. I can tell you, it's a game changer. I have caught just about every species of fish on Gulp, whether I'm using Gulp minnows, Gulp grubs, Gulp worms. They're not as good as natural bait, but they're close. It's just a very effective substitute for the real stuff if you can't or just don't want to deal with natural bait. Anyway, I'm Kel Kellogg. I'm out of here for now. If you're looking for any fishing stuff, rods, reels, tackle, more, trigger spoons, speed spoons, all that stuff you see me using on the channel, great gear at a great price, go on over to fishhuntshoot.com. I want to thank you guys for all the support you've been giving the channel. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. I will catch you next time right here on YouTube. I'm Kel Kellogg. You have a wonderful day. Shad tubes, minnow tubes, soft plastic grubs, Get serious about trout and landlocked king trolling with serious soft plastics from the Fish Hunt Shoot Production store.